What's going on, folks? So, I did a little thing. I meant to post this on YouTube the night it happened. I meant to video it, but I didn't. And I should have, man. I should have. But my buddy Matt, his birthday's coming up April 1st, you know? And I've been helping him along with guitar, teaching him things. And every time that I would teach him something, he would take what I teach him, go home, and practice it. And he'd come back later playing me what I taught him. And, when I first met the kid, just like 2015, I was playing guitar. He'd never seen me play. And I played Rose of Sharon by Killswitch Engage along to the song, just having fun. And he's watching me play it, and he's like, dude, I'll never be able to play that. Not ever, And I was like, yes, you will, dude. Believe me, if you put enough time in, you will do it. It's just the nature of it. The more you practice something, the better you get. And now he can play that. Me and him have played it together before. But he had took all the stuff I taught him, took it home, and woodshedded it, went at it until he had it. And now he's practicing guitar solos and stuff like that now. And he's wanting to get into lead playing, and his birthday was coming up in April 1st. And I go over there, I called him up. I was like, hey man, I want to come hang out for a bit if that's cool. I'm going to bring a guitar with me. Bring my ESP LTD EC1000 that I had for Drop D. I no longer, as you can see over here, I no longer have that guitar. So, he's like, yeah, dude, that's cool, we go get us something to eat. We come back to his place, play some Resident Evil, play some guitar. I'm playing the EC. He's playing his newly acquired Ibanez Geo. That's an awesome guitar for the money. We watch a little Beavis and Butthead. And then I was like, dude, I made a video, on soloing and stuff like that. You might want to watch that, and you might can pick up some information. So we're watching it. And before that, we were playing guitar through his guitar rig. And I'm watching him play that EC, and I was like, dude, what would you put that guitar in if you had it? And he's like, I'll probably do this with like drop D and standard tuning, or maybe drop C, man, I'm not real sure. But probably standard and drop D. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. That's what I do with it, It's a pretty awesome guitar for that. It sounds great. That guitar is awesome. And we're watching my video that I made, and he's kind of watching it and talking to me about things. And then I get ready to go home. And the whole time, I had this thought in my head. The whole time I was at his house, which was probably like 5-6 hours. And I'll get ready to go home. He has to bring me back. And I just told him, I was like, dude, that EC is your birthday present this year. And he looks at me and he's like, dude, you gotta be fucking with me right now. And I was like, no, dude, I'm not. Because you took what I taught you, you put the work in to get that stuff down, and you showed me that you really want to learn this stuff. And for years, he has wanted the EC1000 in flat black. With EMGs, which sadly that one didn't have, it has the Seymour Duncan combination, which sounds really good. And I told him, that guitar is yours because you proved to me that you wanted to learn what I taught you, and you did it. And I believe that, people that do that deserve to have a nice guitar that's going to make them want to play more. And that guitar, it plays really, really good, and I haven't done anything on the setup of it. So I hooked him up with that for his birthday this year. And I feel bad that I didn't record that and post the video with his reaction on YouTube. because it was priceless, man. And I've never really given a guitar to somebody like that, other than my buddy Josh. I got him an ESP that had a Floyd on it one time, and that guitar ended up back to me as a Christmas gift. And so I got that idea. I was like, I'm gonna hook him up with that guitar this year for his birthday, and I'd planned this months before I actually gave it to him. But with the way that he works, it's hard for us to meet up on a specific day. So I thought, it's like the beginning of March, it's close enough. And the whole time that I was going to give it to him, I was like, how am I going to do this? Am I just going to come out and say it? You know? Well, I thought about walking out without it. And then him being like, dude, aren't you going to get your guitar? And just be like, nah, dude, that's your guitar now. He still can't believe that that was his birthday gift. And he's like, dude, I'm going to get you something for your birthday this year, which is Thursday, this coming Thursday. But it won't be anything like an EC1000. And I was like, dude, the money thing doesn't mean anything to me. Because, when you help someone along their journey on the guitar and you see them start to understand it and learn it and it starts to pay off for them, you got to reward them in some way to keep them motivated. Now, yeah, that's a hell of a reward. It is. Because that guitar is like a $1,300 guitar. But I got that guitar used. It's a B stock. It's got a minor finish imperfection. It's the only thing wrong with it. And I think it was $420 or something like that. And I sold a bunch of stuff to pay for it, so it's not like I dropped that 400 and some odd dollars all at one time. And I thought he deserves that guitar because he has talked about wanting one for so many years, and the guitar prices are going up so high that if you were to start saving up and say the guitar is $1,099, just as a ballpark, you start saving up for a couple of years, whatever you can put in, it's going to be $1,200-$1,300 by the time you get your money up. Then you got to save up more and more and more, and it's just going to keep adding up. And so I hooked him up with that for his birthday because he has shown me that he wants to learn. And not a lot of people would do that. A lot of people would be like, dude, I'll sell you that guitar, But that one, it sat in the corner over here in its case. It never really got played a whole lot. And he plays it every single day. And he still tells me now that I can't believe I have this thing. And it's mine. And he was asking me, like, do you want to keep the case? And I was like, nah, dude, the case goes with it. The strap that's with it, that comes with it too. So, maybe if more guitar instructors would reward their students with something, like maybe they really look up to you and would like to have something that you used, even if it's something as simple as a guitar pedal or a pick even, or here's my preferred string gauge set, give them that. Just something to keep them motivated. And I knew if Matt had that guitar that he's always wanted and he's played several times here at my house and at Guitar Center, the better the guitar is, the more you're going to want to play it. It's going to keep him motivated, keep him going. And that's why I did that for him. And dude, if you watch this video, you keep woodshedding whatever it is you're working on, dude. And you'll get it. You'll get it down. No doubt about it. For most people, like, that I've talked to that have told me I'll never be able to do that on the guitar. Really, what it comes down to is the more time you put into something, the better you're going to be at it. Now, yeah, in the beginning, it might sound like a barnyard full of dying animals, But every day you sit down with the same thing and you run it and you run it some more and start looking at what you're doing with your fingers and being like, okay, I see that I got the tip of my finger happening on the string. I'm not playing with the pads of my fingers, except for when required, like doing rolls and things for arpeggios. Or I'm choking up too much and I can't see that there's light under my hand when I'm doing my chords. That's how you start to understand what you're doing wrong. And you can correct that. And also, watching yourself play in a mirror. You know how we used to, as kids, we used to stand in front of the mirror and do air guitar? Do that, but do it with a real guitar. And watch your fingers. Watch how it looks when you're playing. And if you have a good visual representation of what you're doing, you can easily correct it in here, in your head. I see myself doing it. It looks okay now, but I want it to look like this. You take that mental image that you create and you focus on it. Eventually, it's going to happen on the neck. So, what do you guys think? Do you think that, more instructors should reward their students in some way for the progress? Because I have had people like see me play, and I haven't had a lesson ever except for DVD lessons or YouTube lessons. Hey man, it'd be cooler if you did it this way, or well, the way you're doing that there is all wrong, you know? Like you shouldn't be picking so hard or whatever. Some people are heavy-handed in their technique. More people are light, or some people are light in their technique. It really comes down to your style. And Matt is a very like heavy-handed player. And sometimes you have to make a change there. When you start your fast picking, sometimes to get dynamics in it, you might want to lighten up your picking a little bit. Other times you can dig in and go for it. If you really want to go, make people go, whoa, that's loud and in your face. But if you're trying to express yourself, as Joe Satriani would say, the way you pick the string, if you hit it in a certain spot with a certain tension on the pick and a certain speed in your picking hand, the string will crack open, so to speak. That's the way he worded it. Because he said when he tuned down a half a step for the first time about 15 years ago, he was playing with nines, 9 to 42. They were really floppy. He didn't like that. So he bumped it up to 10s, 1046. And he's like, I played on those, and it hurt for a little bit because I was coming from nines that are super lights up to regular light. And, I play on that. The pain eventually was okay. Everything was fine. But it's harder to get those strings to crack open and really speak. Or something like that. His philosophy on things is like, wow. Where does he get this stuff, I think that just shows like his ear, the way he hears what he plays and the sound of music is unparalleled. But the whole purpose of this video was to let you guys know what I did for one of my best friends. I hooked him up with a guitar that he had wanted for so many years, and they're so difficult to afford sometimes. I got this Les Paul down here, and I sold 2 guitars just to be able to get close to buying that thing. And I got to thinking about that too. Like Matt, he's been wanting to save up money to buy one of those ECs. But, with the guitar market now, it just keeps going up and up and up. And I was like, he's going to be saving up forever. So I just thought, his birthday's coming up, and dude, I'm going to hook him up. Because he has the drive, he has the want to learn to play what he wants to play. And that's what I look for in people. And there was one other thing I was going to say too, and it suddenly went away. God, I hate it being tired. Oh, his birthday last year. I gave him my Kirk Hammett signature wah wah pedal. Because he was like, I'd like to get a wah, dude, and try one out, you know? And so I was like, I have this Boss unit over here that has a wah built into it. And it sounds fine for what I like to do. So I hooked him up with that. And I have my JP wah pedal sitting over here. So I did neglect to mention to him that, hey man, don't leave it plugged up overnight with a battery in it. It'll kill the hell out of it. And it did. So he'll have to get him one of those 9-volt adapters you plug into the wall. That's the best way to run a pedal if you're just playing in your room, you know. But I hooked him up with that last year. And I hooked him up with that EC1000 this year. And he was like, you sure about this, dude? Are you sure about this? And I was like, yeah, dude, I'm positive about it. I have my Les Paul. I can do drop D and standard on that. No problem whatsoever. So the EC will be further not used over here at my house. So I told him, just keep it, dude. Happy birthday, man. And I hope you enjoy that guitar. And as far as I know, he's enjoyed it since I gave it to him that night. He's played it every single day. And he might take breaks, you know, here and there. But I do too. I take longer breaks than I should. That's another thing about learning certain things on the guitar. If you're working on a solo and you really want to get this solo down and you know you can do it, it's just some parts are giving you trouble, right? I try to tell my buddy Josh the same thing. When you're learning anything on the guitar, solos, chords, whatever, the more days you take off, the harder it's going to be to get you back to where you were when you practiced every day. Because, you know, you take a week or 2 weeks off, you got to build your chops back up. You got to get going with the motions again, so to speak. And Josh, I hope that he will get on his chords and stuff because he wants to learn how to play rhythm guitar. And there's a lot that goes into it, man. I mean, there's just as much technique in rhythm as there is in lead. He's like, I don't care about doing solos, you know, I just want to do cool riffs and stuff. There's a lot of technique you need to be able to pull off what some of these modern metal guys do. But I hope that Josh will get on his chords, pick up that guitar every single day. I try to, you know, I didn't today because I'm just so tired. It's Monday. So I'm just like, I'm going to sit around and just watch YouTube all day once I get home from work. But Matt, he'll get an idea and he'll call me up, start playing it for me over the phone. What do you think about that, dude? You know, what does that sound like to you? And I'm like, yeah, it sounds cool to me, dude. You know, I can't see what you're doing, but I get the gist of what you're trying to do, you know. Then when I went over there to give him the guitar before he knew that was happening, he was working on a solo he's trying to learn, and I was watching him, and he was like, is there anything that you see that's wrong with my technique? Am I doing anything that's holding me back from learning what I want to learn? And as far as I could see for that particular solo, no, there was nothing he was doing wrong. And I was like, it's all there. The motivation's there. The drive is there. The technique is there. And all he needs is a little bit of something else to kick him in the ass to practice a little bit more. And I thought that guitar is the perfect answer. And so I did that for him. So, Matt, dude, if you see this, man, happy birthday to you once again. And when it comes on April 1st, play that guitar double time, man. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And thanks for watching. Pick up your axes and practice. I didn't say asses. I said axes. Like the Les Paul axes. No. Let's not do that. PSA for me, public service announcement. Gibson Les Pauls. I don't think should have a Floyd Rose on them. That's just me. Take care, guys.